When it comes to install Autodesk InfraWorks 2023, you have to keep in mind basically two things. Firstly, how you can download and what are the download options and what are the key differences in between those download options. And secondly, what are the installation options and what you can do after the main installation finish. For example, what you can add as add-ons, for example through Autodesk desktop app. Because Autodesk tend to change those workflows year by year, this is a key reason why I make those videos. So, let's dive in. In this video, we will download and install InfraWorks 2023. You can access download links directly from Autodesk.com website by searching a product from products list, or you can give a shortcut like InfraWorks and just hit enter. Now you can see download free trial. I click on it and then you have to select what type of user you are. I select business, but keep in mind that even if you plan to try the product or a version, it doesn't really matter what you select from this list, because actually once you start your activation process and once you have your serial number ready, this will define how you start using your product as a business user or as an educational user. So I select the business and then I click next, and now I have to create Autodesk account or I have to use my current one. If you don't have Autodesk account, you can create one using create account, and it's quite an easy process. It's free to create, but you have to do that to be able to download the product, and also in some cases, like it is with InfraWorks, you have to be logged in to be able to use InfraWorks. In some Autodesk products, you don't have to be logged in, at least in versions 2023, but some features may be locked if you are not logged in. So in any case, create Autodesk account if you don't have it, and then you log in. Because I do have my account ready, I simply sign in, also password, and then I have to profile myself to Autodesk. For example, what is my objective of trial? Any option works, industry field, also job level, and then I click next. Also I have to include some information about my company. Let's do that as well. And then I click next again. Now you see that InfraWorks is available for Windows only, and the version I download in this video is 2023. Also that my version is in English, but you can select different language options. It's important to understand different installation options. I tend to suggest and always suggest to use download option, because in that case you download all your files and then you can freely move those files to, for example, to portable drive and install the product quite easily to different machines if you need to, or reinstall the product. The option install practically keeps downloaded files as minimum as possible, and also you can start installation a bit earlier. But during installation, additional files are downloaded. So you need to have good internet connection during installation as well. And also this install is maybe tedious for first-time user, because those files are downloaded to certain location and it's not maybe so easy to move those files to portable drive or to be able to just install using same downloads in different machines. Of course, both versions basically install the same product. But in this video, I select download, and now you see that I'm downloading my product through browser. And depending on product and the installation file size, you may see that there are multiple files to be downloaded. You can see that by identifying that this file is 01, 02, which means that I have 2 files altogether to be downloaded. The order in which you see those Save As dialogues may differ for you. In my case, I can see 01, 02, I select the download location, and then I hit Save. Now you can see second Save As dialog, and this is 0202. It's important to save that file to the same directory as the first one, because after those 2 files are downloaded, you have to extract the content. So I save this file as well. 2 files, about 3.5 gigabytes. After the download is finished, you can extract the content or installation files. So let's continue with that in a moment. Once your files are downloaded, as you see, 2 files, you have to extract those files to the location you point. And usually I'm selecting some same location as before. And because I want to probably move those installation files to portable drive to save some space in my main hard drive, that is probably the reason why it's good to rename your folder, which states the product and the version as well. So I double click this 0102. Now I select the destination folder. As I said, I point to the same folder. I click change. I hit OK and OK again. And now I just wait once extraction will be finished. It's quite a quick process. And of course, if extraction is finished, it is safe to delete those 2 exe files and keep only this folder or files in this folder for later installations. This is just extraction, not installation yet, so let's wait a bit more. Once extraction is finished, you may see that installation starts automatically, like it is right now. You can see Autodesk install dialog. But if you want to install your product a bit later or into different machine, you can do that through this setup.exe. Currently, it is fired up automatically. So let's continue and we should see installation screen quite soon. Again, you have to click yes to allow the installation from a Windows side. I minimize my File Explorer. I have to agree with license terms. Next. Now I can select the location of my product. I keep the default location like Program Files, Autodesk, and also for content I keep the default location. But you have to check, of course, how much free space you have in those locations. And maybe you have to free up to be able to install the product. I click next and I can see that some components are already installed through additional Autodesk products I might have in my computer already. If this is your first Autodesk 2023 product, you probably select those options, and I suggest that you do that because those are material libraries and material libraries enhance. And I click on install. Installing InfraWorks starts, and keep in mind that InfraWorks can be installed only one version at a time, which means that you have to uninstall previous version first, and then you have to start the installation again. As you see, my Autodesk InfraWorks icon is already available at my desktop, and also I get notifications that my InfraWorks install is complete. I can, of course, close those messages, and I can hit start directly to fire up Autodesk InfraWorks or I can do that later through this icon, or I can search through my apps InfraWorks as well. So I don't have to keep this icon at my desktop. I close my installation. I don't hit start right now. I just want to point out that also for InfraWorks, there are some additional apps that should be installed separately. And the list of updates also for InfraWorks base product can be seen through Autodesk Desktop app. So if I click Autodesk Desktop app, and if I search, for example, InfraWorks, I can see different additional components. Also, I can see that I have a hotfix available for my base product. Those updates are crucial to install as well. Also, some additional components like infrastructure parts editor. If I scroll down, I can see different apps which helps me to share project data in between different Autodesk products. For example, bridge data into Autodesk Revit. I have Autodesk Revit 2023 already installed, and this list gets updated maybe weekly basis and sometimes monthly basis. So you get notifications if some fresh updates are ready. Right now, I just save some video time and don't update my product. Instead, let's fire up Autodesk InfraWorks and let's see how you can create your first model or how you can open up your previous model if you have one. So I double click Autodesk InfraWorks. I can see starting screen, and it's important to note that you can activate your product at any time, which means that you can start trial and activate your product if you have your serial number ready. You can activate your product later. Autodesk InfraWorks still needs your Autodesk account, otherwise you just can't use the product. So if I click Start Trial, I get notification, welcome to your trial. I close this message. I can also see some recent updates that are available in this InfraWorks version. I hit continue, and now I should see my previous list of models. But let's pretend that you are not logged in. So I will log out and quit the product, continue. And I click again Autodesk InfraWorks, which I'm using as a trial product. So I don't see this trial message. My trial has started already, but I need to sign in using my Autodesk account. So once again, you can create Autodesk account freely, and during your trial, you can use the same account. At later times, to be able to use InfraWorks, you have to subscribe, and your license is acquired through manage.autodesk.com. If you need some help, please ask your IT manager. As I'm logged in and I can see my InfraWorks desktop, from here I can start to create a new model, InfraWorks 2023 model, or I can open up a previous one. You can also see some tutorials. Those two are models that are available to any user, also in trial version. So you can kind of see what can be done in InfraWorks also in those examples. I will quickly show you how to start a new model. You have basically two options. If you want to start from scratch, because InfraWorks means that you select and merge different data sources together to get some overall model, design story, whatever we call it, then you can start from scratch using new, but you can also grab some base data using Model Builder. And this base data means that from any location in the world,
you can grab some area. Is it a city or countryside? You can grab some area and a base model will be created using those coordinates you select, and later on you can add additional content to that base model. Because I'm from Estonia, I can see a map of Estonia, but you can quickly move away to a different country, and the area what you see in this window is the extent of the model you create. And there is a limit that the maximum size of your model is 200 square kilometers. For example, if I zoom in into the capital of Estonia, Tallinn, I can see that this message disappears, and this is basically the maximum area I can create, which doesn't mean that it's a good idea to create such big models. It really depends on the use case, for what you are creating your model, and also what is your specific goal, what additional data you have, in where you design, in which area. It doesn't simply make sense to include all that big area if you are focusing in some small area instead. In addition to this window, you have an option to draw rectangle. For example, I just click rectangle and I point out that I want to create my base model for that particular area. I can freely move the extent of my rectangle. I can also draw a polygon, or I can import a polygon if I have this boundary in correct coordinates already available. For example, from some GIS application or from Civil 3D. So in that case, I just need to point to shape and project files. And this boundary will also included in my preview window. For example, in a moment I will show you my previous InfraWorks model, which is focused onto university, Tallinn University of Technology. And instead of trying to fix my screen or dialog in some specific area, I can instead import a polygon which is modeled in GIS application and then exported as a shapefile. And then I need to select two files, project file and shapefile. I click open, and now I can see the extent of my area. Then I can give a model name, also description, which is optional, and it's good to select also coordinate system, which of course depends on your country. So in my case, it will be Estonia 97.Estonia. If you don't know, you have to ask for one, but you can filter those coordinate systems based on country name and also coordinate system name. And to be able to actually add data at later times, it's important that those coordinate systems to match with each other, meaning that additional data is defined in the same coordinate system as you have your InfraWorks model. Once all those steps are ready, for example, I give a name and then create model, then my model will be created in Autodesk Cloud. I can close this dialog, continue. I can also close my dialog, and I need to just wait once my new base data is available for download. So let's wait a bit. It shouldn't take long. Sometimes we do depend how busy Autodesk servers are, and of course it depends how big your model area is. Quite often this data is available in 5 minutes. So let's wait a bit. Once this model is created at Autodesk Cloud Services, you can download your model, and you can also work offline if you want to. You also get an email notification about that your model is ready for download. And this first download may also take some time. But again, once it has been downloaded and once it has been opened up for the first time, then next time is already quicker. So let's do a download, and also at later times I will show you how I have added up some additional content. That is the reason why I call this version as a temp, because I already have one modified version. But let's download. So I click this temp model I just created. As you see, the data will be downloaded. I also need to ensure that my Windows security doesn't block the download, because by default it will be downloaded to my Documents subfolder. I will show you in a moment from where to look for. But let's download first. Let's open up the model, and then let's continue some additional first-time activities. Now my full user interface of Autodesk InfraWorks 2023 gets opened. And as you see, it looks like a bit different from, let's say, other Autodesk products like maybe AutoCAD you have used before, maybe Autodesk Civil 3D, or maybe Autodesk Revit. It's more compact, meaning that all your tools are available through ribbon tabs, and also tools itself are quite often some tool palettes. From this temp model I just created, you can see that it will include from that particular location buildings, building data. Also the heights of those buildings are approximately shown. You also see some landscaping and also a surface, 3D surface. For example, in my case, I can see some higher ground right hand side. Also what you get in this base model is road data. So from this point forward, you start to polish your intention or your design intent by including some more exact data from different data sources. Also, maybe you want to switch aerial images. Maybe you have created some additional content through a drone survey. All that data can be included into Autodesk InfraWorks for preliminary design or for visualization purposes. I will also point to the location to where those files are downloaded. For example, in some cases, you may want to move those project files to some additional location or to portable drive. As I mentioned, all InfraWorks models can be found from Documents folder and Autodesk InfraWorks models. And then Autodesk 360 is a default folder name. And any download or new model you create will get some ID or number code. And you see your model name once you click on this particular folder. For example, in my case, this is my latest model I just created. I double click and now I can see my model name as well. And all those files with this folder structure is important if you want to move this project to some different location. This number doesn't mean anything. You can even recall it in your another location. But those files are important, and if your model is opened, then you see lock file as well. If you close your InfraWorks session or open up some different model, this lock file disappears. And it's a good idea that you first close your InfraWorks and then move those files. Please do not rename those files in those locations, especially those two, but also you shouldn't touch or rename the structure in this subfolder. This will most probably cause that you can't open your model and you lose some work you have done. If you want to rename the model, then you just open it up and you can basically create the duplicate, and then you can also delete old version. But let's now open up a bit more polished version of this same model that I have created before. I click this eye icon, Home tab. If I want to open up my model from a different location, and I haven't done that before, meaning that I don't see it in this list, I click Open, and then I navigate to the location, for example, to my portable drive, in where I have those models ready. I just navigate to that, and then I open up my model in previous version, which means that I get notified that do I want to upgrade a model or upgrade a copy. I upgrade a copy, which means that I rename or give a different name, and I keep the same location. So basically, the file structure is copied and also the upgrade will be carried out. I hit copy, and now let's wait, because this model includes some additional data. The upgrade may take a bit more time than before, but once the upgrade process has been finished, the next time I can open up that model quite easily. And also, just in case I do have my model in previous version. So let's do wait, and then let's check the model, what additional workflows I have carried out there in terms of additional proposals. You can see that currently point clouds are copied, and they are quite big files, or the model area is also quite big, not that big, like 200 square kilometers, but about 3 by 4 kilometers, so 12 square kilometers. It will be finished quite soon, and now you can see that my upgraded model will be opened up, and depending on which was my last proposal that was opened up once I closed my previous session of InfraWorks, it will be also shown in this current view. But I can quickly show you that basically this master proposal is the same as before, that was generated automatically and downloaded from Autodesk Cloud Services. And then from this point forward, I started to enhance this base model with additional data. For example, I created a new proposal using add. I just want to keep my base model as well, or a different alternative, whatever the case, you use proposals. In here I can see some workflow proposals, some key steps. For example, the first key step was to include more specific aerial images from local land port services like WMS services. And if you include, let's say, additional data, which is basically the same type of data as before, you have to hide or delete that previous version. Yeah? And this is good to use proposals, because if you delete something in this proposal, this will stay in this master proposal. So you are safe to extend your project with additional data as cleaned up as you want. In addition to aerial images, I also have included point clouds, again from National Land Board. And this point cloud data was basically used to generate more exact surface data. This LiDAR data has been generated from 1500 to 2000 meters above, and it is currently hidden. But if I click Model Explorer and open up point clouds, then I can see quite dense data in addition that has been used to generate additional content. For example, InfraWorks has toolsets to generate a surface from those point clouds. You can also use drone survey data to generate more exact surface data. And why this surface data is important, you can just generate more precise preliminary studies. And this is basically the next step. Once I have created my surface from this point cloud data, I can start to create my roads or extend the current version what was downloaded as a base data. Because this base data looks a bit different, maybe it's not so exact as it should be because it has been generated also through OpenStreetMap, and you can use InfraWorks toolset to generate the roads you need, meaning that you have as many lanes as it should have, some specific road, or if you want to generate some proposal, then you can also make different versions or alternatives of your new design. For example, in here, this is a kind of default roundabout, but I have also included more exact building data, which is shown now. And I have also generated those roads using InfraWorks tools, transportation palette, yes. If I click roads, then this will show a bit more nicer version of roads that are currently in here. Also roundabout, which is dynamic. You can change based on parameters. Or if you want to use InfraWorks to show off some alternatives, then I have generated one in here as well. Instead of roundabout, you can include bridges, different roads, and also you can create different types of preliminary analysis. For example, if you go to analyze, you can generate watershed analysis and also include preliminary stormwater pipelines under your roads, or include a curve across a road. And also in InfraWorks, it's quite an easy step to create some visualizations, animations, but obviously if you want to generate some specific types of visualizations, then there are specific tools for you available from Autodesk or from different software companies as well. For example, if I go to Manage, Display, Sun and Sky, then this is probably the most easiest way to see how your shadows are generated throughout the day at specific date. And of course, because your models are coordinated in some specific location in the world, the sun angle is automatically calculated. But there are many other tools in terms of analysis you can do in InfraWorks. And once again, this is a preliminary design product. If you want to keep moving forward with detailed design, then you can export this data that you see in here into Civil 3D, into Autodesk Revit, into bridge design, whatever the design tool you want to use for detailed design. By that, I want to thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new. In terms of InfraWorks 2023, there are new features videos available directly from Autodesk website. But in my later videos, I probably focus on the workflows itself, how you can change data in between different products. So please do subscribe to my channel. Also, don't forget to click on this bell icon to get notified when new videos are uploaded. For now, happy testing and bye-bye.